Alberta on the brink. New budget fuels referendum talk and ignites political shockwaves. Last night in Red Deer, Alberta, the Alberta Prosperity Project held a pivotal town hall that drew a large crowd of concerned and engaged Albertans eager to discuss the province's future amid increasing momentum toward independence. The event was a critical forum for addressing questions about the recent provincial budget and how it ties into the growing movement for an independence referendum. While the live stream had some early audio issues, clarity improved after the first half hour, and the full recording is now available for those who want to dive into the details. Key speakers at the event included Jeffrey Rath, Mitch Sylvester, and Tanya Clemens from the Alberta Prosperity Project, who provided valuable insights into the province's economic potential post-independence. Jeffrey Rath, working closely with economist Keith Wilson, unveiled a comprehensive 50-page financial framework that envisions Alberta immediately achieving a fiscal surplus between $30 billion and $50 billion once freed from federal oversight. The framework thoughtfully factors in initial investments, such as a $1.5 billion Alberta military fund and defense spending projected at 3% of GDP, signaling serious commitment to sovereignty and security. One of the most striking proposals in the plan is a substantial across-the-board tax cut estimated between 31% and 55%. This could translate to an additional $20,000 to $60,000 in disposable income annually for Alberta families, a transformative economic uplift rarely seen within the Canadian fiscal landscape. Without reliance on federal transfers, Alberta could reclaim control over its wealth and resources, funneling investments into local infrastructure, public services, and community initiatives that better reflect the province's priorities. Advocates argue this newfound financial autonomy would also bolster Alberta's position in negotiating pipeline access and expanding trade routes, ensuring the energy sector remains a cornerstone of economic growth. Projections suggest Alberta's GDP could potentially double within just 3 to 5 years, defying pessimistic forecasts and igniting hope among supporters. Concerns about the fate of pipeline contracts, particularly the Trans Mountain Expansion, TMX, were addressed firmly. The plan reassures that contractual obligations will remain enforceable and Alberta will continue to wield considerable leverage via existing and new trade corridors. Furthermore, the strategy places significant emphasis on Indigenous partnerships, aiming to triple revenue sharing and invest directly in Indigenous reserves. This approach marks a clear departure from past federal neglect, committing to upholding treaty rights and substantially improving living standards within Indigenous communities. The narrative that Indigenous peoples uniformly oppose Alberta's independence movement is oversimplified and misleading. While some Indigenous leaders express caution or opposition, others are enthusiastic about engaging in the province's future constitutional discussions. The plan explicitly respects Indigenous sovereignty and proposes concrete measures to uplift Indigenous economies and communities through significantly increased funding, signaling a more inclusive and forward-thinking approach than previously seen from federal authorities. Regarding currency, the plan maintains flexibility. Alberta could initially continue using the Canadian dollar, trade in US dollars, or eventually introduce a petro-backed currency leveraging its vast oil and gas reserves. This strategic adaptability aims to ensure economic stability while laying the foundation for a uniquely Albertan financial system in the longer term. Political momentum is palpable as supporters prepare for the referendum's signature drive, contingent on Premier Danielle Smith's bill to lower the signature threshold, expected to pass by late June or early July. Once Elections Alberta approves the referendum question, campaigners will have a 120-day window to collect signatures. Boasting a membership exceeding 200,000 and thousands of volunteers, outreach efforts are intensifying, particularly among youth and urban voters, utilizing a mix of town halls, educational campaigns, and targeted advertising. Unlike the divisive Alberta pension plan debates, the independence movement enjoys a broadening base of support. Many Albertans, frustrated by federal policies perceived to undermine the province's economy and autonomy, are increasingly receptive to independence as a solution to regain control over resources and governance. This rising tide of support reflects widespread dissatisfaction and a growing appetite for change. The ramifications of a successful Alberta referendum extend beyond provincial borders. Political analysts speculate that such a move could inspire similar movements in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Quebec. Alberta's significant fiscal contributions have long propped up federal budgets, and its departure could radically reshape Canada's political and economic landscape, potentially triggering a domino effect of provincial reassessments. At the core of the debate is a fundamental question: why remain in a federation perceived to impose unfair policies and hamper Alberta's prosperity? The new budget and independence plan present a compelling vision of economic empowerment, strengthened local governance, and renewed respect for provincial priorities. This resonates deeply with citizens feeling ignored or constrained by centralized Ottawa power. As this historic moment approaches, supporters urge all Albertans, and even disillusioned Canadians from other provinces, to join the cause. Whether tradespeople seeking new opportunities or youth eager for political change, the call is to engage, advocate, and rally around Alberta's future. Flying the Alberta flag with pride at public events and embracing grassroots mobilization are vital to achieving the critical referendum threshold. Already, the political shockwaves from this movement reverberate across the nation. While detractors warn of potential risks and uncertainties, proponents argue Alberta's move is a necessary and overdue step toward justice, prosperity, and self-determination. The new budget and accompanying financial plan lay the foundation to transform independence from a distant aspiration into a tangible and promising reality. They challenge Canadians to reconsider ideas of unity, fiscal policy, and regional autonomy. This defining moment transcends Alberta alone. It sparks a broader national conversation about governance, fairness, and opportunity. The decisions made in the coming months will likely set enduring precedents for provincial rights, resource control, and democratic self-determination in Canada. Alberta's energy, vision, and detailed preparation mark a turning point with the potential to ignite transformative change nationwide for decades.